Hi there, Mr. Luke here. Welcome to the Bertrand School of Music Instrument Fundamentals series. The goal of this program is to give you a reference point when you're not in front of your teachers and you just need a little bit of a refresher on how to take care of the instrument. These instruments are not toys and require great care when you're handling them. In this series, we will be covering instrument assembly, making your first sound, and how to clean the instrument when you're all done. Please enjoy the series. And now for the instrument fundamentals for trumpet. Right, so before we begin actually playing the trumpet, we need to take it out of the case. So make sure that your case is down on a flat surface, and if you look at the case, you'll see that the latch is attached to the section that I have on the table. So that's the section that we're going to put down, the one with the latch. Now all you need to do is just undo the latches, and then the case will just open up just like this. Now inside the case you should see the actual trumpet, and then the other part that needs to be in there is just the mouthpiece, and that's all you need. Let's go over some of the different parts of the trumpet. So now this long pipe here, where we actually stick the mouthpiece into, this is called the lead pipe. Okay? These different buttons here that move up and down are called the valves. Now each valve has a different slide that you can adjust and move in and out, and this will help our pitch raise higher and lower as we get more as a developed player. Okay? And the final part that we need to know about, this end part right here, is called the bell. Right, so let's go ahead and put the instrument together now. So I have my case open. All we need to do, go ahead and just take out the main body part of the trumpet very carefully, and then take your mouthpiece. Now you'll see there's two ends to the mouthpiece. One is just kind of a cylinder, and then the other side is actually where our lips are going to go to buzz. Now all you need to do is find the lead pipe here, which is just empty part with just the hole there. That's where the mouthpiece is going to go. Now all you need to do is just insert the mouthpiece, and then give it a little quarter turn to the right. Now if you notice, my mouthpiece doesn't fall out. And notice that I didn't jam my mouthpiece in there. A lot of times what happens is you'll get it too far in there, and you won't be able to get it out with your hands. Now, if that ever happens, be sure to never, ever, ever take pliers to the instrument. We have special tools, your teacher will probably have some as well, that are designed specifically to take out the mouthpiece without damaging the instrument. So if your mouthpiece does get stuck, either go into a repair shop or come into the store and make sure that you can get the mouthpiece out without using pliers. Make sure you always use a mouthpiece puller. Once you have that together, you're all set to go. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go over a little bit of the basics on how to make a sound on the trumpet. So for this, all you can do is just take apart the mouthpiece and the trumpet, and we're just going to focus on the mouthpiece just for now. So the way we make a sound on any brass instrument is we're actually going to make a buzzing sound with our lips. So let's put our lips into the right way. This is our embouchure, how our lips are going to be formed. So go ahead and put your lips together kind of like you're saying the letter M. M. Or another way you can think about it is if you're in a photograph and you don't really feel like smiling all the way, just kind of, okay, so you have a little bit of pulling back with your corners of your mouth. So go ahead and get that embouchure formed, and then all we're going to do is keep the outer edges of our lips firm and let the center of our lips kind of be loose. So we're going to get a buzzing sound. And depending on how loose or tight your lips are, that's going to change how high or low the buzz is. So all of those different kind of sounds are going to be different sounds on the trumpet when we play it. So now let's go ahead and hear what it sounds like with the mouthpiece. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the cup end of the mouthpiece and we're going to place it right on the middle of our lips, right in the center. Okay? So form your embouchure, that M, and then go ahead and try to buzz through the mouthpiece. And once you have that sound, go ahead and try to see if you can get the pitch to raise and lower as you buzz. If you can do that, that's perfect, because we need that flexibility in our lips in order to get different notes on the trumpet. So now we'll go over a little bit more in depth on how to hold the instrument and then actually making sounds with the trumpet connected. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about how to hold the instrument, and then we'll actually make our first sounds with the instrument completely assembled. So what you can do is just take your left hand, that's going to be the instrument that's going to wrap around our valves right here, the 3 valves. Okay? So go ahead and take your left thumb, and you're just going to put it right there behind the first valve. Now you're going to take your other fingers and just kind of wrap around the instrument. Okay? Just like that. So you should have a pretty firm grasp of the instrument with just your left hand. Now you can take your thumb and you're going to stick it in between of your right hand, and you're going to stick it in between the first and second valve, and then these fingers are actually going to rest on top. So they're going to have a nice curved action to them. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take the left hand thumb and we're going to slide it behind these different valves here. So this thumb is going to go behind that first valve, and then you're going to take your index finger and you're going to just wrap around the trumpet. Okay? And that should be a pretty firm grasp on the trumpet. Now for the other side, you're going to take your thumb of the right hand and stick it right in between the first and second valve. Okay? And then your first finger is going to go on the first valve, your second finger on the second valve, your third finger on the third valve, and then your pinky is actually going to rest on top of the trumpet. That should give you a nice round grasp of the trumpet. Once you're in that position, let's go ahead and make a sound on the instrument with the mouthpiece in. So remember our buzzing sound. So go ahead and bring the instrument right up to your face. Notice I'm not hunching over to try to play the instrument. I'm standing up tall and I'm bringing the instrument right to me. And then take a deep breath and go ahead and just buzz and see whatever sound you get. And then just like I was talking about earlier about how we can make our buzz higher or lower, let's see if we can get a couple of different pitches. So try to bring back the corners of your mouth a little bit more and try to blow faster air and see if you can get the pitch to raise or lower. If you can do that, you're in great shape. You're all ready to go. Now, a couple problems that you might be having with your buzz is just the amount of air that's coming through. So just take the deepest breath that you can, because if you're not using enough air, you can get a pretty weak sound on the trumpet. So if you're getting a sound like that, just take a deep breath and try to blow as much air as you possibly can. Get those lips to buzz. Another problem you might be having is if your teeth are completely clenched. And notice how if I try to talk with my teeth clenched, it doesn't come out very clearly. The same thing for the trumpet. Have a little bit of space in between your teeth and let the sound come out. Also, if your tongue is up in the back of your throat, you might be having some problems there. So make sure that everything is nice and open from your throat to your mouth through the instrument. So making sure that the airstream is nice and smooth all the way through. Alright, so now we're going to go over a little bit about the maintenance of the instrument. So now we're going to go over some of the basic maintenance that you'll be needing to do in order to keep your trumpet in perfect working condition. And for this, we're going to be using our first lesson trumpet care kit that's available at the store. So make sure that you have this. Okay, so there are a lot of moving parts on the trumpet. So we have the slides that move and then the valves that move up and down. These need to be oiled or lubricated in order to make sure that they function properly. So what we're going to do now is oil the valves. So if you take a look at the valve, there's actually a cap, not up here at the top, but just this next part down. There's a little piece of felt there. We're actually going to unscrew that top. So it's just like the top to a bottle. You're just going to loosen that, and then these valves will actually move completely out of the casing. Okay? So the part that we need to oil is going to be the part with the holes right here. So this is the different levels that the air can be going through. Now, the part with the spring doesn't need to be lubricated at all. That is not in contact with the casing. So, what you can do, we're just going to put the valve back in the casing for right now. And go ahead and take out some of your valve oil. Go ahead and unscrew the cap on the valve oil. We're just going to lift up the valve until we see that part with the holes there. All we're going to do is just put a couple drops around the top so that it'll come down to the rest of the valve casing. So once that's in there, you can just kind of move it up and down just to kind of work it into place. And once you feel like you've lubricated it well, you can just go ahead and unscrew or screw back on the top. Now you can do this for each valve, and it's very important that you only do one valve at a time because each valve is designed to stay in a certain spot. So if you look at the valve or the casing, they should be numbered. So make sure that you're matching the numbers up together. And once you're all done oiling the valves, go ahead and just press the valves down and just make sure that you get air through the instrument. If you're feeling like you're meeting some back pressure or it's just you're not getting any air through the instrument, one of the valves might be twisted. So they do twist right into place. They should lock and make a locking sound so they can't twist any further. So until you get to that spot, go ahead and just keep rotating just to make sure that they fit. So now we're going to take a look at our slide here, and we're going to make sure that this is moving well. So if you're feeling like you're having a hard time moving your slide in and out, and these also do come all the way out, I'm just going to take mine out for there. Now make sure for this you have your tuning slide grease. It might come in a little tube like this. Sometimes they're smaller containers as well, but they all achieve the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to apply some of this right on to the valve, or the slide. Okay. Once you get a little bit on there, you can put the cap back on. Then you can actually work this on with your fingers just through the slide. Okay. You can work it in, just moving the slide in and out as well. Now once you close the slide all the way, there might be just a little bit of excess. And what you can do is just wipe that off with a paper towel and it'll be fine. Now just make sure that you wash your hands before you move on to anything else when you're done taking care of the instrument. That's basically all you need to know for maintaining the instrument. You're all set. Alright, so now that we're all done practicing, let's go ahead and put the trumpet back into the case. So pretty simple. All we're going to do is just take the mouthpiece out of the lead pipe. And remember, if it's too tight or if it feels like it's not coming out at all, make sure you come into the shop and get it taken out by us. Don't ever use pliers to get out the mouthpiece. Just go ahead and put the mouthpiece back into its slot. And then you're just going to face the trumpet so that the second slide is facing up. The second valve slide is facing up. Should only fit one way into the case. Right. Go ahead and close the case down and make sure you're not forcing anything closed. If anything you're having to push down really hard, something might be in the wrong position. So go ahead and latch up the trumpet, and then you're all set. So we've covered the basics on how to put your instrument together, how to make your first sound, and how to care for the instrument in general. Please feel free to review these fundamental videos at any time, and you can also email me with questions or just to let me know how things are going at lessons@bertrandsmusic.com. Take care and keep playing.